I'm Terry Murphy for Realty Times, Senior Editor for Realty Times, and today we have Mr. Realty Times. His name is John Giaimo. He is the CEO of Bring It Home Communities. It's a rewards call center LLC and the real estate news organization. As you know, Realty Times has been around since the 90s. You were the founder, John, and CEO of a publicly traded company. A lot of people remember homeseekers.com. That was the first time we placed an entire MLS listing service, which you pioneered that whole infrastructure. Now, I don't know what your vision then was. Basically legendary. This included MLSs and brokers and agent website development. And that whole technology thing has been in your back pocket for a long time. I was a contributing editor to Realty Times back in the 90s. And here we are today with Realty Times TV. We've got Realty Times Bring It Home, Before They List. There's so much you've done. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in John Giaimo's world with Realty Times.
Well, Realty Times has actually, like you say, been around for a long time, and it's been, something that's been emerging because of the fact that we really try to cater to consumers as well as the industry. So there's kind of a fine line there in respect to providing some lifestyle information, tips and tricks and things that homeowners should do before they list or as they're thinking of getting into the marketplace. And then at the same time, we manage great information in respect to what the agents and brokers should use or utilize. We really have been focused on this for some time, and it's been successful for us for a number of years. I've been expanding the model and actually having home seekers being the first guy in the industry world in respect to the Zillows, the Realtor.com, having listings and such. And people say to me, well, gosh, John, you were the first guy that did that. And I say, well, that's not bragging rights. That only means I have the most arrows in my back, especially since back in that day, it was, pioneering was really tough and bringing listings online and such. But meanwhile, Bring It Home Communities has always been a dream of mine, only because I started on a global method with homeseekers.com, having, all the listings of the United States on one site, and of course others followed. But now with what's happened and what's occurring in the industry, I've always wanted to bring it back to the local community, bring real estate back to the community. Hence, Bring It Home is a trademark that we own, and Bring It Home Communities is literally a series of portals that we're building, and portals being Bring It Home Colorado Springs, Bring It Home Las Vegas, Bring It Home Orange County. The list goes on. Matter of fact, we own 250 domains that are Bring It Home that we're building. But we're not just putting up listings. Bring It Home Communities is about, again, the community. So we have local community information, neighborhood information. We have market conditions as it relates to that specific community. Of course, we have all the latest listings, and they're all MLS driven. So they're very up to date and as up to date as a Zillow or a Redfin or whomever. Again, bringing it back to the community, but I'm the local business person. And I'm talking about brick and mortar. They would not do well on a national site. So we're essentially featuring your contractor, your flooring guy, your appliance guy in articles and series of articles and banner ads and such. And again, trying to contribute to the local community. And it's going to take some time. And these are all pretty much broker sponsored, meaning the brokers are enabling us on the listing side, although MLSs and associations are certainly welcome to participate in a Bring It Home environment if they'd like a public facing site. So that's what Bring It Home is about. But then as things have been evolving, I'm almost thinking that Realty Times and our staff and our people are really becoming the Disney version of real estate Imagineers. I mean, we're coming up with a lot of different cool things. And one of them has been the Before They List project that we just recently announced, and also the Before You List, which coordinates with Before They List.
So, John, clearly having been in the real estate industry, being a pioneer in the aggregation of MLS and making it available to people all over the globe, this latest innovation of Before They List and Before You List is your vision to help the consumer enter the real estate market in a way that serves them. Tell us how the idea spawned and where you see it going.
Well, Realty Times has quite a network of brokers and agents that are always communicating with us. And, they are actually starving for listing inventory. I mean, it's been in all the news and all the papers and such that, there are no listings available. But then Homes.com recently did a survey that was pretty enlightening. They actually reached out to 5,000 homeowners and asked some specific questions as to where this homeowner was in regards to listing or selling their home. And it was an eye-opener to me and to others, as we found that many of these homeowners, and the numbers are staggering. I mean, 16% to 30% are on the fence as to they're considering selling their home, but they're just uncertain of this market as to what's happening. And the uncertainty lies in, can I get top dollar now? I mean, all the news says you can, but what is that number? And how quickly can I sell? Can I find another home? I mean, there's a lot of questions in their minds. And so I decided after interviewing our brokers in our network and agents and said, hey guys, what if we came up with a program that allowed you to communicate to these homeowners in a fashion that would say, hey, are you thinking about possibly putting your house on the market? And yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, but maybe not until, maybe next year, maybe this fall. And the agents with our app that we actually produce and deliver to them allows them to say, well, you know what, in my office, we have a lot of experts in regards to what's going on in the community. I mean, we're just experienced. Don't even call it experts. We're just guys that work the beat every day, right? And so if you wouldn't mind, I would like to ask them about your specific property and what they think in respect to, what it might sell for, how quickly it would sell. Many of them have buyers, and maybe we can get a sense of that pricing from the horse's mouth, literally. And if you'd like, I'll put you on the app. And essentially putting these people on the app and keeping in mind, they have not decided to sell. This isn't a contract deal. They don't have any relationship with this agent at this point. It's simply saying, sure, go ahead and let's see what they have to say. And then, of course, now the agent shows this app gets notified to all the agents in the office immediately that there's this this consumer that's thinking of possibly listing their home. And then they have a caucus, if you will. And this is part of a program that is part of their weekly meeting. And it's something that we're introducing with a company called Veea in regards to this virtual meetings that we're putting together for the offices, soon to be announced. So meanwhile, this whole process is for then these agents to basically come together with a consensus and some level of reporting and provide it back to this homeowner and say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I did what you asked and I brought it to the office, and we think you can get this kind of dollars in the current market. We think the timing will be this, and this we actually have some buyers interest. Maybe you want to reconsider that next year or this fall timing as far as listing your home. And essentially created a tool that is a lead generator, is a means for them to create new inventory by providing the consumer, the homeowner, with factual information. And so this is just an advisory type of app. It's really what it's all about. So we've got a site called Before You List. It was a site that we direct consumers to, and basically they can get a sense of what's going on. They can register. Anyone that registers will be directed to the offices that are in our program for them to, of course, take it to all the steps that I showed you or just mentioned. We also have a site Before They List, and that's the industry site where the brokers can effectively go understand what we're trying to do, see samples of the app and such, and basically allow them to sign up. And so there's a monthly fee for the entire office to participate. Again, it's emerging. It's something that's growing. So far, the feedback has been, yes, this is awesome. And again, the information and these homeowners that are participating are basically literally on the fence, and the office is providing information. And also, by the way, the office, this is exclusive to the office. This information that is gathered by a specific agent and sent to the office agent only stays within that office. It's not public. It's not generated outside or presented outside of that app. And it's for exclusive use of the office.
Well, it's a really great idea if you're in new construction, which we all know new construction is kind of delayed right now. So let's just say you're wanting to build a house, but you really don't know when it's going to be ready. but having the comfort of knowing that your agent and or that the property may be available at some future point can give great comfort to that seller. Don't you agree?
Yes, and it's all about advising and building a relationship with the homeowner, and absolutely on new construction, on any aspect of real estate, really is where this thing really fits well. And I mean, look, the agents are doing the old school stuff, which works to a certain degree, but they're knocking on doors. Are you thinking of selling your house? They're sending letters and such. And and that's not the approach. The consumers today want to be informed, and that's our motto, so that you may have an informed decision. And obviously before deciding as to whether or not you want to put your house on the market.
Because you're sitting there with Realty Times TV behind you, and because your bio says you're produced the weekend cable, and do you want to do any segment on Realty Times TV?
Realty Times TV is actually something that I did some time ago. We were on Dish Satellite Network and DirecTV on a weekend basis every week. It was a hosted show. And now we're bringing this now to a closed network type of environment. And it's really exciting because Realty Times TV is going to be all encompassing. It's going to cover not just, today's news or news elements, but it's actually going to have some great interviews by a wonderful editor that we have on board, a guy named Terry Murphy. And so basically, it's going to be coaching. There'll be coaching. There'll be NAR news. There'll be just specific elements strictly related to the industry, informative. We've got some great shows that we're working on that you're going to laugh when you hear. I mean, they're going to reality type maybe, and just some fun stuff as well, not to be the dry real estate environment. And this will be piped in directly virtually to our offices and agents within that office.
And it will also be available on an iPhone, won't it? Won't there be an app that allows them to get it virtually?
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of the program that we've been putting together. We announced it at the beginning of the year with a company called Veea, where we're doing the virtual office of the future. And the app allows the office to have communications between all of their agents, but on a secure basis.
I was just going to mention that.
This is
cybersecurity.
The big ticket is security, and unfortunately, the apps that are available today are not secure. They're working towards it, but and we've heard a lot in the news in the past year of things that have happened. I've actually seen articles from major acquisitions and mergers that occurred, and it was made a note that they wouldn't use Zoom because they wouldn't do so because they were concerned that there would be someone listening into the conversation. Our situation with this company called Veea, they have the most secure device. It's actual hardware that gets installed and acts as a hub and for all the agents within the office. But that's just that's the neat part. Brokers never really think about security. It's just like, you have a fire extinguisher in the house, but you don't really worry about it because your house is not on fire.
Exactly.
But if it got on fire, that fire extinguisher becomes very important, certainly. And so we see this same scenario in regards to the Veea hub that we're actually installing as part of this whole process. But again, the programming will be key in regards to this offering as well. And I mean scheduled programming to where you will be able to get certain segments at certain times of the day in certain parts of the country. It's going off of the cable network type of scenario, and really, I'm aspiring to be the CNN of real estate. I mean, literally, that's what this news channel is really going to work to be as it grows up. It's going to take time, and certainly as we grow, and it's not going to be exclusive to Realty Times. I hope that we'll be able to collaborate with companies such as Inman News, the Wave Group, and T3. I mean, there's a list a mile long of companies, Riz Media, certainly, that could have their space on this network. And so that's what we're working on now. It's actually in progress. It's kind of exciting. We're doing testing now in specific broker offices in different parts of the country, and working out, of course, the bugs that you run into on all these various things. And the good news too is, like, before you list, products are being included with this packaging as well. So that's what's making it even more intriguing, because when we have our office meeting on our network, on our Zoom-like a product, if you will, we would basically be able to incorporate the listings that are available, that are, these homeowners that have said, yeah, I'd like to have some understanding what's going on. Have that discussion in your office meetings, just like as you normally do when you have a new listing announcement in the office meeting. So this is really where we're going with this. It's exciting times, and that's why, and we have really just begun. There's a lot of different things on the whiteboard that we're also looking to grow this whole process with. So it's now, and for me at this stage of my life, my career, honest to God, it's all just fun for me. I'm just really having a great time putting all these pieces together, and having great staff and great people on board that are helping me build it. And by the way, we're looking for collaboration on all levels. I mean, this is not a Giaimo thing, a Realty Times thing. Like I said, we are very interested in working and teaming up as it makes sense to do.
Well, John, your vision continues. What a remarkable development since the recent pandemic put everybody virtually on purpose, intentionally on the globe. And here the timing is magnificent because we're used to being virtual. There is lots of discussion about how virtual, but then, there's that security issue. And then that's how do we continue to build community and connection with our agents and our consumers? Sounds to me like you've got this pretty well covered from a technology standpoint. And after 30 years of the real estate plus industry, it sounds to me like this is really a great project. It's going to be exciting. It'll certainly, I know, be fun because I know what's coming up. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm sure we can check back for another update for Realty Times TV, Realty Times. Bring it home communities before they list and before you list. Thanks for being such a great partner in the real estate industry. I'm Terry Murphy for Realty Times. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Terry.